Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for September 16th, 2020. And I'm joined by Abhishekh Aneja, aka Abby Maniac. What's up, Abby?
I'm absolutely fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm doing good as well.
How did you find today's episode of AEW Dynamite?
First off, so we haven't covered AEW for 2 weeks, and a
Hmm.
lot of things have happened in those 2 weeks. First off, All Out was a you can say it was a disappointing pay-per-view. The whole Matt Hardy situation, it was a mess. And also, Dynamite last week crossed a million in viewership. So, what is your report regarding these 2 weeks?
Uh, I guess my opinion regarding the pay-per-view is that yes, I agree somewhat with regards to yes, it was underwhelming. We were expecting a very, you can say, a higher standard of wrestling, of entertainment, and everything with regards to AEW and how they have been delivering shows or their special events. But yes, this time it was underwhelming. Even the match, which I was very looking forward to, the FTR match with them winning the tag titles, it was underwhelming. Uh, Jim Cornette in his podcast said that it could be because of the lack of audience, which I agree, and also because FTR was dancing to the tune of Kenny Omega and not the other way around, that the match was going to the tune of FTR and what they have been doing in NXT and Takeover, which the audience and also many of the fans across the globe have been enjoying. There was a lot of, you can say, underselling or maybe no selling at all on the part of Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, but it is what it is. But the fact is, yes, it what the expectations for the match were for me, it didn't deliver. But yes, I am happy that FTR has won the tag team titles, and I expect good, better, and stiff action in the future whenever they would be competing in the ring. And other than that, many of the matches I have not even watched yet because of the lack of time I had. I haven't watched uh, the Mimosa Mayhem match, and even the main event I haven't watched. But I have heard whatever happened. Uh, it is what it is. Even the casino battle royale, the thing which happened with Matt Sydal was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. That is all I can say. And Dynamite, it is great. Last week they hit 1 million viewers. The show was okay, not very great, but yes, I'm happy that they hit a million viewers and they should capitalize on the said, you can say, viewership, the said achievement. And this week it looked like that. It was in my opinion, a great show this week.
I think this week's Dynamite was, in my opinion, not that good, but it was okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and to break down hour by hour, hour one was good, but hour two was not that good. Like the quality of the show went a little bit down.
Mm-hmm. It was a wrestling heavy show this week. That is also a thing. And I really enjoyed the main event. Uh, I read some comments regarding that online that JR called his best main event or something like that. What is your opinion regarding the main event? We are not going in detail right now. We will go it in a bit. But what was your reaction with regards to the main event, the parking lot brawl?
I think I will save that for the ending.
Okay.
Shall we get into the card, the show?
Yes, absolutely.
So this week's Dynamite featured Jurassic Express versus FTR. MJF was back in action. Hangman Page faced Frankie Kazarian. Thunder Rosa defended the NWA Women's Championship against Ivelisse. And the main event, like you said, was the best friends versus Santana and Ortiz in a parking lot fight, and so much more. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slamhub Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. So action starts with the Jurassic Express versus FTR. So before the match even begins, Young Bucks come out and they super kick the referee. They head to the back. Matt Jackson paid his fine to the Sugarman Tony Khan. So we get to this match. Jungle Boy and Cash Wheeler start. FTR tried to bring Jungle Boy in their corner, but Jungle Boy escaped. Quick offense from Jungle Boy and tag was made to Luchasaurus. FTR asked for timeout and a slight distraction and a cheap shot to Luchasaurus. FTR with a double team on Luchasaurus, but instead they hit clotheslines from Luchasaurus. Jurassic Express in control, tag made to Jungle Boy. Wheeler catches Jungle Boy in a power slam, which gets a 2 count. FTR now in control, grounding Jungle Boy in their corner. At one point, Wheeler missed a drop kick. Jungle Boy was about to tag Luchasaurus. In comes Harwood and he stops Jungle Boy from making the tag. Jungle Boy with a clothesline to Harwood, and he finally makes the tag to Luchasaurus, who runs wild. Chokeslam standing moonsault combo on Harwood gets a 2 count. FTR tried to go for a double team suplex but failed. Jungle Boy in, they hit a double team move on Harwood. So final parts of the match saw Wheeler sending Luchasaurus over the barricade into the crowd. Harwood and Jungle Boy were legal. Sunset pin attempt from Jungle Boy. Harwood counters that, and a little assist from Wheeler allows him to pin Jungle Boy, and that was it. This was, I think, another great FTR match, and I'm noticing a little trend here. Every time they wrestle uh, like tag teams with a very high pace style, they always slow them down first, and after that, after that only they are allowed to do their spots when it's needed. What did you think about this match?
Hmm. I agree with that point. Yes. And that also goes with what story you are trying to tell in the match. Their FTR style is like that. Rather than doing the spot fest, they do the storytelling kind of match, the old school match. They the firstly the heels or the antagonist will get the offense in, and then the baby faces will get their offense here and there when it's needed. That is their basically the story, because here at this point FTR is the premium team. Jurassic Express isn't even ranked. And the fact is, FTR, the stipulation was that if Jurassic Express won this match, they would get a title shot in the near future. But that didn't happen, obviously. And the rundown was, as you said, Young Bucks super kicking Michael Posey, the initially appointed referee for the match, oozing their new attitude, not giving a flying fuck. Basically, a throwback to their days in the Bullet Club and whatever they did with PWG. They many a time super kicked the referee. That is Rick Knox. He is a referee here too. And FTR laughed it off, their antics, their phony attitude basically. And if I look at it uh, personally, it looked funny because the fact is, I don't know, maybe they need acting classes. I don't know. The fact is, it is what it is. They, because here what has happened, FTR has basically ruined the elite. They have split up and traumatized the relationship of Adam Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, and even the Bucks with the other two for that matter. Jurassic Express is unranked, yes. FTR didn't just hand them a title shot, yes, that was the stipulation. FTR applied the isolation technique to a great, you can say, extent on Jungle Boy, focusing the attack on the ribs and the breadbasket. And obviously, you saw that they were doing the psychological warfare on Luchasaurus, that you are not getting in, we are hitting your friend, what are you gonna do basically? Until the hot tag, we witnessed classic tag team wrestling display from FTR, no doubt. Assisted double team moves, isolation technique, not letting Jungle Boy tag by cutting him every time, sliding in, cutting him. Multiple, and we also saw multiple near falls and counter pins between the two teams. Great, it was a great match. One of, I would like to say, one of the better matches of Jurassic Express, in my opinion. And at the end, yes, FTR won with an illegal assisted pinfall in the roll up for the victory. Jurassic Express won't be getting a title shot as per the mutual agreement or the legal stipulation, but probably they would be butting heads in the next couple of weeks, and we might see a tag team title match between the two teams anyway. But how it gets to that point, we have to see.
Yeah, it will depend on the ranking system now.
Most probably, yes. And if not, then we will see what happens with, there would be promos or they would get another shot, uh, maybe with regards to another non-title match, and there would be no illegal stuff which FTR did, something like that, or singles matches happening between one or two competitors. We have to see what happens.
So next, in the back, we had Captain No Charisma, Alex Marvez. So he was giving an update on Matt Hardy, who was laid out and he was favoring his knee. Private party were attending him. Chris Jericho and Jake Hager show up. They make fun of Hardy. So I believe we either see a small I'm saying Jeff, Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho feud, or somewhat continuation of the Sammy Guevara feud. What do you think?
Uh, I would agree with the first one, maybe a Jericho and Matt Hardy one, or Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy's feud has been nothing but a clusterfuck, to be quite honest. It hasn't gotten the push from the, I should say, the universe. It has put on blockages and stoppages, and it seems that it isn't going to happen, that whenever you will do it which the universe isn't pushing for, that it would never happen. So the fact is you should leave it and put forth a new set of competitors. So Matt Hardy and Jericho, you can do that, fine. You can do Matt Hardy versus Jake Hager, that's also fine. But the fact is, Guevara and Matt Hardy don't do something which isn't happening now. It isn't happening. It is getting too much blockages. It is getting too much resistance. So the fact is, don't do it at all. And we never saw Sammy Guevara in this week's show. So I don't think that maybe Guevara is the part of the plan.
Hmm. Let's say what
And
happens.
and also Matt Hardy said in his promo last week that he would be concentrating on healing and getting care of the family and stuff. So he would be competing in the ring in some time, not in the near future, but maybe in the distant future, he would be getting in the ring. But I should say that maybe whatever you have done with regards to Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, just leave it. It has been done. It was great, whatever you have done in sporadic events, but maybe it isn't uh, got to happen. Maybe it just seems like that.
So next match was Frankie Kazarian versus Hangman Adam Page. Kenny Omega was on commentary. So this went about, I think, more than 30 minutes. The early parts was just a basic match, but it really picked up when we saw several quick reversals. We
Hmm.
also got to see a lot of near falls from both men. Final parts of the match saw we see more reversals. Page then finally hits buckshot lariat, and that was it. I think the main motive of this match was to give Page a good showing because now that he is back as a singles wrestler,
Hmm.
and I am gonna talk about the post match stuff. But what did you think about this match?
Um, I agree with your point with regards to Adam Hagman Page being shown as a singles wrestler that he has what it takes, and uh, AEW also thinks that Adam Hangman Page has the potential to be the face of the brand for that matter. So if they are going forward with Adam Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega in the near future, so they're building up towards that. That was the basic story and regards to the match and what has transpired to this situation that was also accentuated by, of course, Kenny Omega on commentary and the other people who were there, and we have seen bits and pieces of the said story on being the elite on YouTube. If you are following, you have seen what has happened. Adam Hangman Page in this match looked visibly affected by whatever developments have happened throughout the previous weeks, which have led to a chink in the relationship of him with the elite, basically. And we also saw that heard, and we have heard it now for 2 weeks, that Kenny Omega wants to go for a singles run. Meanwhile, Adam Hangman Page still wants to redeem himself for the betrayal by regaining the tag straps with Omega. Now, Omega thinks this was all on commentary, and whatever has happened, we can, get it from common sense that Omega thinks that Page is an alcoholic liability and a naive millennial cowboy who doesn't even know how to be an quote unquote emperor. He thinks Page is a codependent bitch, as he said that he always needs a tag partner and blah blah blah. Omega doesn't like losing, as many of us don't. All of these could be a reason that for Omega not being with Page anymore. Omega wants to have a singles run and wants to do and be what he was in Japan.
Mhm.
He isn't even anywhere close of how he was in Japan. People say that it was the likes of Okada, Naito, Ishii, who were the reason for those 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars matches with Kenny Omega. Is it so or is it not? So now it has come to his head, him being Kenny Omega, that it is a time for Omega to prove it. This singles match, what has happened, Kazarian versus Hangman Adam Page. Now come back to the match. Kenny Omega, Adam Hangman Page and Kazarian manifested from the initially booked tag match between SCU and Omega and Page. That was also said on commentary. The
Yes, yes.
first and second tag champions of the promotion. Great match, I agree with you. Great match between Kazarian and Adam Hangman Page. Great back and forth. Hangman slowly found his groove during the match for a, you can say, a singles run. The pump handle Death Valley driver was also just too sweet. By Page, Kenny Omega was emphasizing throughout the match the fact that Hangman Page being a codependent bitch over and over again. But Hangman Page at the end came out on top against a very game Kazarian. Page won via pinfall with a buck short lariat. That
So
was
post,
this match.
yeah, so post match, Omega left commentary, and commentators were discussing that it was little odd that Omega didn't congratulate Page on his win. Even Page noticed that, and instead he got a post match drink. So it's clear what direction they're heading to, but still there is some unpredictability on what Omega will do, what the Bucks will do.
Hmm, I agree. I agree. And that is what it is intriguing and that is what it is exciting for us to see that what will happen next week.
So next we had MJF versus Shawn Dean. This was just a quick match. MJF with a poke to the eye and locks in the salt of the earth submission, and that was it. MJF then cuts a post-match promo. He said he's a very honest man. He said Moxley cheated him at All Out, and right now he should be the AEW World Champion. He then orders Justin Roberts to announce him as the undefeated, undisputed, uncrowned AEW World Champion. MJF mentions he will not get a fair shake as he's not part of his stable. He says how there is a new one every week. He calls himself a lone wolf, but he considers joining a wolf pack. Does this mean MJF is joining a faction?
It seems like that. I don't know. And with regards to what we saw in the opening scenes last week, it seems like this is heading towards the inner circle. Probably. And it would lead to MJF versus Chris Jericho, something like that. But
Um,
how it comes about to that point, it may be long stretched, and it should be, in my opinion, if you are going to book a feud with regards to the two top heels or bad guys. If you think like that, and two of the best promo guys, then you should not give away like that in a span of 1 month. So maybe you should stretch it out, build a story like they did in the WWE, like Kevin Steen and Chris Jericho did.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
A story which stretched from, I guess, SummerSlam to WrestleMania, I guess.
yeah, correct.
So I think that would be a better thing to do and they would also be thinking the same way, probably.
So I'm seeing through the factions right now in AEW. Let's see. Dark Order doesn't suit him. Eddie
No,
Kingston's Eddie Kingston's team doesn't suit him. How about Team Taz? That's not happening. Like you
no.
said, inner circle that can happen.
Hmm.
But I was thinking another. I had another what I can say plan in mind or story possible booking in mind. How
Mm-hmm.
about the rumored four horsemen?
Rumored four horsemen. Mm-hmm. I like that. Uh, so you are thinking for FTR and MJF and Cody,
Yeah, that could work, I guess.
or what? If you are thinking four horsemen, then what would you be thinking? You have FTR, you have MJF, and who else? Sean Spears.
You can add Sean Spears, but the other member has to be Cody, right?
Hmm. Sean Spears is the king of AEW Dark,
Really?
probably, because I won't be seeing him as a part of a faction, maybe, I guess, on AEW Dynamite. I want to see him succeed, no doubt about that. But is there room for him?
At least for a short term storyline, MJF should be part of a faction.
I agree. I agree. That would work. That could work. But his style, I agree. Whatever his style is and what his persona is, that, yes, that meshes with the vision of four horsemen. Hmm, I get that. That would also work. So we have two possibilities, either the inner circle or the coming of the four horsemen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Let's see.
let's wait and see. And yeah, there is a possibility of that Jericho and MJF feud or match.
Hmm.
Next, we see a video package of Taz analyzing Ricky Stark's moveset. Back in the ring are Eddie Kingston and his boys. He tells Butcher and Blade to go outside. Kingston reminds us that he never lost the battle royal and how they are not a faction but a actual family. Kingston orders Butcher and Blade to find some victims. They pull out three guys from the crowd and beat them up. Lucha Bros join as well, and that was it. I think Kingston at the end of that segment told Blade that he should get rid of his personal problems. Maybe I think that was a shot at Ali, I guess.
Oh, that, I didn't get that reference, but now I think of it all right.
So another question I want to ask you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this Eddie Kingston thing,
Hmm.
was there any false elimination in that battle royal, or he's just not accepting the fact that he got eliminated? What is the thing here? I'm confused here.
I have read some comments online with regards to it, that there were people who said that Eddie Kingston wasn't eliminated. He went through the second rope and then he got eliminated from the Casino Battle Royale. So I guess maybe he is not technically out of the match, I guess. So if that is what happened, because I skipped through it, basically. You have caught me,
Hmm.
basically. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the initial part and then I skipped, and then I saw that it is going very, very, very long. and then I skipped through. Then I saw the end to just see that who won. Then I saw Lance Archer winning. I was very happy that yes, the fact that Lance Archer is winning, a guy who is legit, who can be a world champion, is winning. I am happy with that anyway. So, whatever the thing is, maybe what Eddie Kingston is saying is true. Whoever watched the last minutes of the said battle royale could tell you a better story or a better perspective with regards to what actually happened. That is my take with regards to the battle royale thing. And what happened in this segment, other than what the point you said with regards to Ali. Ali hasn't, we haven't seen her here as a part of the faction in any way, have we?
No, she's still with
So,
QT Marshall and the
hmm.
Nightmare family.
So it seems like that they would be feuding with the Nightmare family or uh, natural nightmares, whatever if it is.
Nightmare family is the unofficial faction. Natural Nightmares is the tag team.
Yes, the tag team. Yes, I'm talking about the tag team. I'm talking about the tag team. Probably it would be the next step. And with regards to the ending segment, whatever happened, Eddie Kingston, as you said, you ran down the facts that he brought up the fact he wasn't eliminated in the casino battle royale in the end, fair and square. He got Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. in the ring and gives them a dose of quote unquote violence therapy to sort their issues out. That what happened last week on AEW Dynamite, that basically they got in the faces of one another, the Lucha Bros. So it was a therapy session with the use of violence, and it involves Butcher and Blade tossing a couple of enhancement talent from the crowd and the Lucha Bros taking out their anger, taking out whatever they have in their brains, the unresolved issues, the unresolved trauma on them, and it is executed to perfection. Then Kingston did what you said. He asks Blade to get his house in order. So now you have said that it is in reference to Ali. All right. Let's see what happens.
Next up, we had Private Party versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. This went 13 minutes. Both Gwen and Cassidy got two great near falls on Jericho in this match. So I'm gonna jump straight to the finish. So Cassidy was going for the swanton, but he misses. He eats the Judas effect, and that was it. It was a very typical Private Party match. The pairing of Jericho and Hager didn't do much for me, and honestly, I don't like this tag team. I would rather have appreciated if they got Jericho and Guevara instead, because that pairing looks way better, and we all know how over they can be as a tag team.
Hmm. I agree with that, but the fact is, it could be that they would also want to, you can say, showcase Jake Hager as a competitor, give him screen time. So that could be the reason that why we are seeing Hager and Jericho on screen. And maybe it could also be a factor that they want to keep Sammy Guevara and Jericho a little, you can say, separate, or maybe due to the fact that they would be thinking that maybe in the near future they would be thinking for a feud, or you can say due to the difference of opinion with regards to Jericho and Sammy Guevara, with regards to the generation and with regards to the clash of styles. what they have in the ring. That could be a great match. So I do not understand that. That could be a reason, and Sammy Guevara was just in a, you can say, quote unquote hot feud with Matt Hardy, so they got to have Jake Hager with Chris Jericho. Sammy Guevara could not be everywhere. They got to have someone else. So they are going with Jake Hager and Chris Jericho, a pairing of, you can say, experience, strength, and wrestling prowess. That is their main, uh, you can say, arsenal. And private party have the speed and aerial prowess. So it is a clash of styles, and it is a great watch for the fans as well. Jericho and Hager were ex WWE guys, so that also brings in the ratings factor that many people know Jake Hager from also Bellator, from WWE, so that also brings in uh, for AEW, for the fans tuning in. So that could be one of the reasons. So that's it. And with regards to the match, Matt Hardy was seen injured, as you said, in the initial part of the show, of the broadcast. That was one of the reason of this match being manifested, and also it was booked, obviously. So they had to have a little element added to the match. So that was Matt Hardy's injury. That who injured him, who attacked him. Maybe it was the inner circle. Isaiah's Isaiah Cassidy's back was the focus of the attack by the inner circle during the match. Hager and Jericho pummeled him heavy with scoop slams, with submissions, and all the stuff. And at the end, Cassidy's Swanton Bomb and homage to Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy's brother, proved fatal for his team as Jericho capitalized with the second attempt of the Judas effect, finding its mark. Jake Hager and Jericho won via pinfall. That
Mm.
was the match.
But still, I would rather have Guevara and Jericho instead of Hager and Jericho. That's
Yes,
my
they are
opinion.
more entertaining. I
Yes.
agree with you. I agree with you. I also would prefer Guevara and Jericho. They have to find now something else. They were trying to fill in Guevara with Matt Hardy, but the fact is, it is not happening. The universe is just bringing blockages with regards to that feud. So now pair Guevara with something else, get him something else where he can sink his teeth into. So that could be a great thing. Let's see. There are million of other things which they can do. Let's see what happens. Tag team division, TNT championship, or any other thing.
We had the NWA Women's Championship match, Thunder Rosa versus Ivelisse. So right away, Ivelisse shoves Rosa. Both women exchange arm drags. A lot of exchanges and strikes follow. At one point, Rosa had Ivelisse in the gory special. Diamante with a little distraction. Ivelisse counters and it's a knee strike. So final parts of the match saw Ivelisse hitting the snapmare roll kick, which got a 2 count. Rosa catches Ivelisse, hits a tombstone pile driver, and that was it. So Rosa looked great here, but for some reason, Ivelisse's offense looked little weak, and that could be the reason I wasn't able to enjoy this match. What did you think about it?
Yes, I also agree with the fact that I also did not enjoy this match as much as I even did. the best match which Thunder Rosa has uh, had on this AEW programming was with Serena Deeb, in my opinion. Even on the pay per view, the match with Hikaru Shida uh, wasn't even that great, to be honest. Shida's offense is strikes. Rosa's offense is strikes plus wrestling.
Submission.
Yes, submission based, but it didn't click. It didn't click. And also Jim Cornette made a fact that maybe Hikaru Shida is a little, you can say, uh, her arsenal is more of an independent circuit style of wrestling, which is a little, you can say, more of spots rather than doing submissions and telling a story. That could be a thing, and it didn't click. It didn't click. That is what they were trying. He was trying to say. The fact is that the expectation of even myself wasn't fulfilled with regards to Thunder Rosa versus Shida, and also this match wasn't up to par of the expectations. Yes, whatever they did, the intimidation games in the initial section of the match, and then other things, and they used Diamante's interruption during the Gory special submission, building to a tag team match next week. So understandable. And they have taken both of our opinion with regards to a lengthy run for Thunder Rosa on AW programming, which is great. Yes, it is great. But now it has to click with regards to the matches, and also lack of audience also plays a big role with regards to these matches. So that could be a thing as well. And Thunder Rosa's offense is great with regards to the shotgun dropkick, which started it all in this match. That was also great. And this match had stiff action with regards to the exchange of strikes, uppercuts, forearms, submissions being exchanged, brawling, mat wrestling. It was great. Shida was scouting, watching the match, the winner of the match at the pay per view. In the end, Rosa won via the tombstone pile driver. Yes, an okay match, but we, after the debut of Thunder Rosa on AEW television, we now expect better matches from her.
So yeah. So yeah, next week we are getting a tag team match involving all four women. And about Thunder Rosa, I still think they should have put the title on her at All Out.
They could have, they had the chance, but the fact is it it diminishes and it puts the stock down of their current champion, the AW champion. So they could not have done that. That simply would have meant that NWA is the superior promotion with regards to women, and AW is the inferior promotion, which is a fact. But you cannot say it out loud by just giving her the championship, playing it safe, and it has been happening since ages. Whenever it has been booked, it has happened now, and it was the first match, so it could happen that whatever happened post match, that we saw Diamante ambushing Thunder Rosa, and then Hikaru Shida came to the aid and cleared the ring, and then held the NWA Women's Championship and looks at it rather enamored for a while, and then hands it to the rightful owner, Thunder Rosa. So it can seem that Hikaru Shida is interested in the NWA Women's Championship. So we can see a future NWA Women's Championship match between Shida and Thunder Rosa.
I
Possibly.
won't I won't mind that.
Yes, I won't either. And then probably they would have Thunder Rosa winning the match. Then it would tie at 1-1.
But at the end of the day, Thunder Rosa needs to be signed with a legit contract with AEW.
Probably, but it AW or NWA, whatever suits her, you can say that could be the thing. But the fact is, still the time she is holding the NWA Women's Championship, she would not be signing anytime soon the AW contract unless they have something planned out. Both the promotions have something that there is a working relationship and something like that, and unless she drops the belt, she would not be signing a full-time contract with AEW.
So next we had Miro and Kip Sabian working out. As Miro was bench pressing, Sabian was cutting a promo. Miro wanted to kill someone in the ring. Sabian says they have to do some work first. Miro says they will be throwing the best bachelorette party ever. And then they suddenly start talking about Warzone or Call of Duty, something like that. So, what do you make of Miro being involved in this wedding angle in AEW?
uh, and is it a shot at WWE for the Lashley, Lana, and Rusev angle, or is it something else that they are doing it with, you can say, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, that they are indeed getting married, and it is just, you can say, the stars have aligned for Miro's debut or Rusev's debut, and they wanted, uh, you can say, Miro to tag team for the said event with Kip Sabian, as now I can say his old tag partner is now gone, basically. So I don't know but whatever they are doing, if it doesn't have a legit, you can say, payoff or an entertainment factor, even it doesn't get the emotions running of the fans, then it is a waste. Yes, I agree. They are using the star power of Miro or Rusev, that yes, it gets the people watching, that yes, he is here and he has called out WWE and stuff like that. Whatever happened last week, and even someone said that Chris Jericho helped him with the promo, whatever, blah blah blah. The fact is, his debut was, in my opinion, underwhelming. But whatever they are doing, I am giving them, you can say, leverage. Do whatever you have to do, but make it worthwhile for the fans. Make it worthwhile. Do not just throw it away like that. Rusev is a great, Miro is a great competitor, no doubt, but have a payoff, have something that people watch and actually care. The Rusev, Lana, and Lashley storyline, it had many people watching. It became intriguing at one point, or maybe even stretched for many people. Yes, purists or who are wrestling fans and who are not fans of sports entertainment, they didn't like one bit of that. But the fact is, it got people watching. It got many people watching and intrigued, and you can see the YouTube views of the said segments for yourself. It it is a proven commodity. But now, if you are doing such a thing or such a storyline, then do it full justice. Do it like WWE or even better. Have some elements and do it. Take your shots at WWE. That's no problem. But if you are investing in a story, then do full justice to that. That is what I'm saying.
Next, we had back in the ring, Lance Archer and Jake Roberts. They come out. Archer murders someone from the crowd. So Roberts was on the mic, and I don't know. I think you have noticed this. I don't know if there was issues with this mic or the fact that he has deep voice and it can't be heard in an open venue. So did you notice some issue when he was
Yes,
cutting that promo?
yes. It was some audio issue. Yes, it could be with regards to his voice. I agree with that. It could be. He
So
would have needed a little more on the amplified on the mic.
yeah. Or else they should have done it in a backstage segment.
Yeah, they could have, but the fact is that there were it wouldn't have had that impact because there were many people involved in that set segment. It had the other people also. They had Moxley, they had Hobbs, and
So
the other stuff too. So they could not have done that. Could not have been able to do that probably.
So let's get into it. So Roberts, so he was saying that they are being forced to find tag team partners for next week. Roberts then calls out Taz. Taz says that he's happy to do business with both of them. He then puts over his clients Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, and also praised Archer. Taz also mentions that there was a deal where if Archer wins the AEW World Championship, then Brian Cage gets the first title shot. Archer responds to Taz that his boys are enemies of his enemy. He says he will beat Moxley for the World Championship. John Moxley comes out and gets attacked by both Cage and Starks. They send him through some equipment case. All of a sudden, comes Will Hobbs with a steel chair. He chases both Cage and Starks. Moxley on the mic, he announces Will Hobbs as one of his tag team partners, and the other partner will be Darby Allin. So the main talking point of this segment was, of course, Will Hobbs, who has of recently he has been getting a small push, and also he had a good showing in the Casino Battle Royal.
Yes,
What did you think about it?
yes. Well, Hobbs was, I guess, the news broke yesterday or the day before that that he has signed a contract with All Elite Wrestling. It is great that they gave the, you can say, the wheels turned with regards to the story at the Casino Battle Royal with regards to Will Hobbs being given the push, and he also eliminated one of the guys of the other team. I guess uh, probably Cage or Starks, one of the guys, or even Archer. I am not even I am not even remembering who, but yes, he had a great showing. So we didn't know at the time that what is up with regards to Will Hobbs, and now we are seeing that manifesting that yes, he is in a tag team with Moxley, and they would be facing Archer, Cage, and Starks. Is great, and with regards to the in-ring segment, this overall segment, Eddie Kingston was mentioned by Lance Archer that whatever the fuck you are trying to do running around saying that you weren't eliminated, you won't be getting a title shot because Cage and I would be butting heads and setting this place on fire literally. So he said that in the same nearby context, and Archer teaming with Brian Cage, who has had somewhat, you can say, some problems with. It is a little intriguing also because just a week or two before the pay-per-view AEW All Out, they had a confrontation of sorts in the ring. Lance Archer, Brian Cage, they had a face of sorts. So it is going, it may very well be happening that Moxley would be dropping the belt to Lance Archer, and then we would be seeing uh, Lance Archer versus Brian Cage, but it won't be coming easy, or that could very well happen, and it would be great if it happens, obviously. But yes, the deal between Jake Roberts and Taz, which gives Cage the first shot at AEW World Championship, when Archer gives it, yes, it makes sense that why Cage and Starks would be teaming up for next week with Lance Archer anyway, as they do not see eye to eye with Lance Archer. So it gives. And with Will Hobbs having a wonderful showing at AEW All Out in the Battle Royale and eliminating one of the guys of Team Taz and even other people, it is a great thing that he is getting an opportunity in this six-man tag next week. And the who configure that would have been Darby Allin because he has had history for the past two pay-per-views or maybe more with Team Taz, Ricky Starks basically, and Brian Cage. So it all makes logic, it all makes sense. This match makes sense. It's great.
Uh, Another thing, you might have seen people talking on social media how AEW is just relying on the elite and former WWE guys.
Yes.
The one thing they are forgetting that they are also showcasing a lot of people who never had exposure from a major promotion.
Yes.
Yeah, like for example, we saw here Will Hobbs on this show. They also got someone like Anna J, Wardlow. Most of the people you see on AEW Dark, they also mostly never had exposure from a major promotion.
No. I agree with that. And the fact that even they are pushing or even showcasing WWE guys, that is logical because the fact is that how much time it has been since AW has been in existence. So if you are building a worldwide promotion which has worldwide reach, so you got to have you can say people who who are big draws. Basically, you have to draw an audience. You have to get in the viewers to have overall reach in countries across the globe. So you got to have those people because if you are only showcasing independent stars from your country or the other country, maybe UK or Mexico or even India for that matter, if they're only independent stars, then you will get a limited audience. If you are relying on the bigger stars as well and you are showcasing the stars from the independent circuit, That is what makes a promotion. That is what makes a promotion. You cannot rely on only independent stars and only on the ex WWE stars. You have to have a mixture of the two. And the fact is, what the ex WWE guys bring in, that is legitimacy plus viewership. And that is very important for a growing promotion. Many people don't even know what AEW is. So these things matter a lot. WWE is how many years old? And how many year old is AEW is? There is a big difference. So you got to have stars who will get you the audience, and then it will transcend to other people.
Mm.
But many people, but the fact is, you are in an age where taking offense and just bashing other people and being on one side that I'm a WWE guy, I am an AW guy, I am an Impact guy. That is the only thing that sells, and that is the only thing that really matters maybe on social media. But if you have an overall hybrid view of the whole thing, then you will maybe talk sense that it is important to have legends or veterans or even big stars of other promotions compete on your programming to get more viewers on your show, to get that they will buy merchandise, you will get revenue, you will get more viewership, and your company will grow. Then it will lead to TV deals in international markets, stuff like that. You have to think like that with regards to a business, with regards to a growing promotion. You cannot think like that, that they are only featuring ex WWE guys. And they only have one show, which is of 2 hours, and then another show on YouTube, which is AW Dark, which is showcasing independent stars and then also giving them a platform that how you should conduct yourself and grooming them for television. AW Dark is a great thing. I agree. Even if some people are not watching, they're grooming them for the future. That when they would be coming for the second show, which is coming in the near future on TNT, and it would be airing on the international markets as well, then they would be ready. They would be ready. That is what it is. And also, with regards to our Indian listeners and Indian viewers, AEW is also now negotiating with multiple TV stations in India, and probably we would be seeing AEW Dynamite on the TV screens in India very soon. Probably it was said by Tony Schiavone in the recent post Dynamite show, the post show on YouTube. So it is a great news for Indian fans of AEW and wrestling.
So let's get into the main event.
Yes, absolutely. The parking lot fight.
So yes, Santana and Ortiz versus best friends. The parking lot fight. So this was the blow-off match. So Santana, Ortiz, they had face paints on. They brawled right away. Ortiz was being sandwiched between a hood of a car. Santana introduced a nightstick. Ortiz was about to swing a sledgehammer at Trent, but hits the car windshield instead. Ortiz suplexes Chuck over the car roof. Trent speared Ortiz through a door. We also saw a usage of some wooden boards. Trent gets double powerbomb through the windshield, and So the final parts of the match saw Orange Cassidy popping out of a car trunk. We had a steel, so he had a steel chain wrapped around his fist. So he hits the orange punch to Santana. On the other side, Ortiz was about to hit a pile driver on Trent, but Trent counters that and hits a what I can say, what did Excalibur call it? The crunchy through the wooden board, and that was it. So I can say that regarding this match, it was good on the basis of the brutality and the violence that we saw. And anything you wanted to add?
Uh, um, may, parking lot fight. Uh, okay. In this match, uh, it wasn't like it wasn't anything like not any traditional wrestling or anything like that. So the fact is that I didn't make any notes for that matter. I just enjoyed this match. I enjoyed this match, and there were many stiff and hard bumps in this match. But the fact is, yes, I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained by the spots and the bumps, and whatever the story they were trying to tell, that uh, basically uh, LAX targeted Trent's mom and just destroyed her minivan, basically. And they talked shit about her. And then best friends wanted retribution. Basically, that was the story of the match. And parking lot, basically, it is with regards to the minivan, and it also gives them some leverage. So it is great that it gets the attention of the fans as well. Another style of wrestling, not only the ring. It was happening in the parking lot, so it also gave a, a new aesthetic for the match. So overall, whatever bumps that happened, a power bomb or an assisted power bomb to Trent through the glass, that was painful. Some might say it was unnecessary, but the fact is, LAX needed this. LAX needed this because the fact is, many people, including us, have said that they haven't been booked or they haven't had something to sink their teeth into, and they are better than what they have gotten since their time in All Elite Wrestling. They are a great team. They are exceptional talents. They have showed their prowess in the independent circuit and in Impact Wrestling. They have been World Tag Team championships there, held the championships there. So the fact is that they needed this.
But they still lost.
Yes, they still lost. That was the end of the story, that the baby faces would be winning. But the fact is that they're showing, and the brutality is what can say would stood out, and what would be opening the eyes of the AEW officials as well, that you should not sleep on such talents. Rather than being the sidekicks of Jericho, they are also great talents. Yes, I agree. Time constraints are there, and you cannot book every people on every other feud. But this was great. Uh, with regards to the entertainment aspect, whatever they did, the weapons they used, LAX brought their A game, and in my opinion, and they got they were insane in this match, and even best friends got they were great, you can say, dance partners in this match. They they were great as well. So Orange Cassidy at the end, he was also a part of this feud in some way because it manifested somewhat in the it overlapped in the Jericho versus Orange Cassidy feud. So Orange Cassidy coming to the aid of his best friends also somewhat you can say makes logic a little bit, but nonetheless it also gives LAX a little, you can say, a cushion that a third person came to the aid, and that is why they lost. Otherwise, LAX was in a better position and they would have won this match fair and square if Orange Cassidy didn't have come and it became a 3-on-2 handicap match for that matter. And the parting scene was great. Sue giving the middle finger to the camera, and it was a full circle. She got a minivan, and that was it. Uh, it was great with regards to the entertainment aspect and uh, fans enjoying this match. It was pure enjoyment, sports, and everything like that. The brutality, the violence. Yes, if you look from a purist standpoint, from a wrestling standpoint, yes, it won't look to you like it was. Maybe it wasn't to your taste, probably.
But it's time that AEW started presenting proud and powerful a little bit better.
Uh, yes. Now
And
it mhm.
sorry to interrupt you, but I think they should leave the inner circle and maybe join Eddie Kingston's gang
I agree with that.
storylines.
I agree with
Because
that.
yeah, because I believe being in the inner circle, their ceiling is little low. I guess not that high.
Hmm. Ceiling is a little low, but the fact is they are getting opportunities with competing with top guys. Even sometimes in singles action, sometimes in tag team action, they are getting more opportunities. Eddie Kingston has just entered the fray. Maybe they won't be getting much of the TV time, or they should be. I'm not saying they should not be, but they should be. And Santana and Ortiz would fit Eddie Kingston's partnership more. I also agree with that. But what can you do?
Let's see. I
with the
think
inner circle with the inner circle you have more opportunity. You have the inner circle has different people. You have Santana Ortiz, who are a little different. You have Jake Hager, MMA guy, a little different. You have Jericho, different. Sammy Guevara, different. And
I think it will be a patience game when it comes to the booking of Santana Ortiz, like we said last time.
hmm, yes, that would possibly be it. And we would be seeing Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz butting heads, or maybe somewhat of that sort. It would be happening sometime soon, in my opinion. That
So
probably they have had an history, so they would work together. Uh, they would mesh together quite well. So whatever is gonna happen, it would be great. They would be, you can say, salivating to work together, and it would happen on AW television very soon, in my opinion. Either as being together or being against each other, whatever happens, it would be happening very soon, and it would be great.
So that was Dynamite.
Yes, that was Dynamite for 16th of September 2020.
So before we go, where can these guys find you?
Uh, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Abimaniac, ABBYMANIAC, and I am working with an independent wrestling promotion in India named Wrestle Square. You can subscribe to their YouTube channel. That's it.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at SlamHub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Dynamite review, and we'll see you guys next time.